Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome. We're going to get started in a little bit. Want to log on early, say hello, see how everybody's doing. Cut these lights on. Make sure everybody's awake. I thank you for waking up with me. We're going to have a good time. If you're just joining, say hello in the chat. Trying to see what kind of music we want to listen to today. We normally do a little hip-hop instrumental, but let's see what we got. I didn't pick my intention card yet. Figured I'll wait and pick it with you guys. I know I'm going to gotta moisturize first. Always gotta moisturize. If you're doing yoga and you might feel as though you might slide a little bit, I would not recommend moisturizing before you do yoga. So just keep that in mind. Hey, Mommy, good morning. Hope everyone's well. All right. So I want to do a little bit of a viewer's choice today of what we're going to do for our yoga practice. So it doesn't have to be a full flow, a full outright flow today. It can be whatever you want it to be. I want to leave it up to you guys to kind of decide what you want. Because sometimes you have a plan and then you wake up and you're like, nah, not today. I want to do something completely different. My body is feeling something different. And I'm feeling good. It's a 3-day weekend. It was 4 days. I had the extra day off yesterday. So I'm feeling good. Let's pick our intention card. And I normally will pick an intention card every day. If you're someone like me who likes to pick an intention card for your day, you can get them on Amazon. I have a link in my bio that, can send you right to Amazon to get your own cards if you're interested. So, all right, let's see what we got. You can shout it out in the chat, say hello, I'll shout you out. So what I do is I normally give them a little shuffle and then I put them down. I'll put them down so you can see. So I normally will spread them out. Sometimes I even make a little circle, depending on how I feel. And then I really just kind of pick a card that speaks to me. Just looking at the cards and saying, which one do I want to pick? Like this one here seems to kind of be poking up a little bit. This one's a good one. And it takes us a lot of time to get to this point. I'm going to tease it. I won't say what it is right now. I'm going to tease it. But, these cards were given to me as a gift, and I have been using them ever since. All right, we got EA Bedsia. I'm going to say EA. Hello, welcome. I believe that you are new. So hello, welcome. New viewer. I love new viewers. We're going to get started. Like I said, I want us to do a viewer's choice. See how you feel. How does your body feel? How are you feeling that it's Memorial Day weekend and we're not being able to do the things that we normally get to do on Memorial Day, right? It's very weird, right? Yay! Yes, you're new. I do try to shout out everybody. So if it's a new name, I will shout you out. It's weird though with this whole not being able to really do the things that we usually do. And Memorial Day really signifies that, okay, things aren't really normal because we can't have the big cookouts that we used to have, and it's different. It's very different. So I'm trying to accept it within myself as well. We all gonna get there. All right. So we have another few minutes. No one has suggested what they wanted to listen to, what they wanted to do for yoga. If you have some water, you can take a few sips. I don't suggest before yoga that you eat a heavy meal or drink a lot of fluids. It's okay to drink a little bit, but don't drink a lot before yoga. Get up, get yourself kind of settled. I know I have gotten feedback about my yoga, my yoga in bed video, where I said, once you get out the bed, before you even get out the bed, to get yourself going, right? Do yoga. Well, people are like, you have to amend that because people need to go to the bathroom and then get back into bed. So I will make another video that says after you go to the bathroom and come back. All right. You have low energy, but you want to be active. All right. So that's what EA said. Wants to be active, but has low energy. And I feel you. Because sometimes I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh, all right, let me get myself together. And I really feel like once I sit on the mat, I start my breath. The breath really, to me, gets you going. You start with the breath, and then your body is like, okay, we're really starting to breathe, deep breathing, and then you really start to get into the groove of your practice. So I completely understand. I completely get it. And that's one of the reasons why I always start with the breath. It gets me there every time where I'm like, okay, now I feel like I want to move. When I'm doing my own personal practice and I'm not actually teaching, I'm moving in totally different ways. I'm just getting myself going, and I may do one thing on one side and not the other thing on another side because I'm doing what feels good to me. And even for you, when you're not taking a class like mine, you can still do what feels good for you. So you wake up in the morning, of course, you're going to do your stretches, bringing those arms up overhead, and then do your little forward fold, move your body. I suggest that every day, every single day, move your body like that. So we'll do a little something that gets us up the mountain just a little bit, and then we'll take it back down. So we got 4 more minutes. So I'm going to put this hair up so we're good to go. Y'all will tell me if it looks bad, right? Okay. All right. That's my mother. She said bathroom breaks are very important. I got you. I'm looking out. All right. So I am going to get this hair wrapped up. It's the great thing about locks. You don't really need a twist tie if you just have your hair. Just wrap it around your hair. Oh, yay. All right, you're getting excited. All right. So let me talk about the intention word. The intention word for today is acceptance. And I'm like, okay, because there's a lot of things right now that we have to accept. It may not be perfect, but we have to accept it. This is life right now. This is our new normal, right? There's things that go on that we're like, hey, I don't know if I should have made that decision, or I don't know if this person should have made that decision, or this should have happened. These series of events should have happened, but we have to accept it. And acceptance is hard. acceptance is in those stages of grief as well, right? So acceptance is a big one. So that's a heavy one for this morning, but I really feel like it's a good one. It will really kind of keep you on the mat today. I use those as a way to keep me grounded on the mat. I'm gonna get a little bit of chapstick. Lips feeling dry. You know, you're just waking up in the morning. Gotta get yourself going. All right. So we gotta like. Yes, thank you. I forget all the time. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Please share it with other people so other people kind of get to interact and I get to meet some new people like EA. All right, let's get started. We're going to get started today in a seated position. You do not have to cross your legs. Matter of fact, actually, let's get started legs open today. Just to kind of bring it home that you do not have to have your legs crossed. You do not have to have your legs crossed. You can have them out, whatever's comfortable for you. Because I really want you to be comfortable in this class today. We're going to have a nice, just flowy class, get our bodies moving, but still keep it low key. All right. I'm moving my toes because you gotta move those toes. What you don't know is that so many things are coming from your feet. Of course, you know, you have all the reflexology, all the different muscles and organs in the body that you can activate from the feet. So our feet are very important. We must love on our feet. It's time. Y'all ready? All right. We'll get started. I want you to come to the breath. You're here in a nice, comfortable position. You come into your breath. We're going to take some inhales in and exhale out. We're going to do that Ujjayi breathing. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhale, make the ha sound. Going to do that 3 more times. Inhaling in. Exhale. Notice how your body relaxes. Notice how your shoulders come down. Inhale in. Exhale. Let everything soften. 2 more. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale it in. Exhale. We're going to do that same thing, but we're going to close our mouth. Still make the ha sound, but just close your lips. Inhale in. Exhale. That felt good. 1 more time. Inhale in. Exhale. We're going to move our neck from left to right. And then let your right ear come down onto the right shoulder. Feeling that stretch along the neck. Even if you'd like to take your hand down, that left hand out, in line with the hip onto your fingertips to really get that full stretch all the way down from your neck to your fingertips. And take the chin back up, the hand back in, and go down on the other side. Again, you're allowing that ear to come down. Don't take the shoulder up. Again, you can still take those fingertips out. Remembering that you're having length within the collarbone. Chest is high. I'm going to take the head back up and take the chin down towards the chest. We're finding length within the collarbone, keeping the shoulders back, the chest nice and high. Maybe you slept wrong last night. We're going to take that chin, we're going to round it over to the right, and then move it around to the left. 1 more time to the right, and 1 more to the left. Coming back to center. Taking that chin all the way up towards the ceiling. Resting your head on the back. And on that exhale, coming back to center. Move your shoulders. And then move them the other way. All right. We're going to first come into our hands and knees. Now, if your wrists are giving you any issues, feel free to move your hands out. Also, if it's too uncomfortable, I know, Jackie, you said also on your wrist, you can also come onto your fists. If you want to have a block as well, you can always bring a block down as well. So feel free to use your props. Use your props. I'm going to do it on a block just to demonstrate how you can do this on a block. So you can come down and bring your hands up. So that way your chest is a little bit more lifted. Of course, your knees are still hip distance apart and your toes are untucked. It may give you a little bit more pressure off of your wrist here. You can still come onto your fists. So anything that feels comfortable for you, modify. I'm going to first move the hips from left to right. We're in our tabletop position. Bringing the knees to stillness, we're going to start our cat-cows. So you're going to inhale, lower the belly, gaze up. Exhale, arch the spine, tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, lower down. And exhale, arch. Last one. Coming back to stillness, we're going to make circles with our hips. So circle it out. I would suggest moving the fist down that time. So make your little circles. We're waking up that body. Starting to be a little active. Pausing and going the other way. Bringing that body to stillness, coming back to that nice neutral position. You can have your hands anywhere on your blocks that feel comfortable to you. Again, make sure that you're bringing those shoulders back, away from those ears, okay? Even if you need to walk your body in to readjust your body, all right? We're going to take that right leg out, stretch it back, stretch that calf out. Keeping those hips nice and square. We're rooting down on the ball of the foot, getting that heel close to the ground. Take it in. Take the opposite leg out. Again, you're stretching that calf down. And take it back in. Move the hips. We're going to take that right back behind us, but we're going to pivot that foot down. Pivot that foot like we do in our Warrior One pose. So you can bring yourself to the side. We're not going to bring the arms up overhead. You can still keep the hands down. Rather, if you're on a block or you're here, you're just moving that foot down. Just the start of our twist. We're warming up that body. Keeping both hands down on your blocks or on the ground. Bring the foot back in. And then we bring the opposite leg out. Of course, twisting it down. Just a gentle twist. Keeping both hands down on the mat or on your block. Just opening that hip. All right. Come back to your tabletop position. Move your hips. We're going to now step the right foot forward. So if you have your blocks, you can move the blocks over to the side. You can bring them up so you have a little bit more space. And I'll turn here actually so you can see me. So we're going to bring that foot up in between the hands. So wherever you are, hands down or hands on blocks, just going to bring that foot through. That back foot is untucked. We're going to lean forward just a little, wherever we are. Rock from forward and back. Don't forget to breathe. Now, if you see me with my hands down or with my hands on blocks, you see my shoulders? You see the difference? This is where the blocks come in handy and they help you with that posture, help you with that alignment. All right, so that's good for that. Step that foot back and step forward. All right, who we got? All right, hey, Crystal, welcome back. All right, rock front and back. We're on that other side. We're teasing that hip. We're saying good morning, nice and gentle for that hip. All right, take that foot down. Bring the blocks away. You can bring them to the side. We're going to take the knees out as wide as our mat and allow our big toes to touch. Shift your weight down towards your heels and then bring those hands out to a child's pose. Let that forehead come down. All right. Hey, Vanessa, welcome back. Welcome back, Vanessa. That forehead is down. Those hands are out in front. You're allowing yourself to just come down to a nice, comfortable child's pose. You can rock the hips from left to right. If you know what a swag surf is, almost like a swag surf child's pose. Walk your hands over to the right side. You can place the left hand on top. Allow those forearms to come down. And walk your hands over to your left side. Walking those hands back to center. We're going to come back up into that tabletop position. So as you notice, we're doing a lot of hips today, right? Move your hips from left to right. All right. We're going to tuck our back toes. Shift weight towards the heels. Coming forward. We're going to start that first downward facing dog. So push those knees up. Our first downward facing dog, paddle out your feet. Bending opposite knees, bringing one heel down at a time, pushing away with your hands, continuing to breathe. That neck is relaxed. Bringing those knees to stillness, feet come down, maybe walking your hands in, your feet in to where the heels come down on the mat. Push away, you're in that upside down V. Feel free if you like to put a bend into the knees, you can also do that as well. We're going to take 2 breaths here. Finding length within your shoulders. Bringing your gaze toward your hands. Walk your feet toward your hands. We're in that forward fold. This is your first one. Maybe put a bend into those knees. Allowing that stomach to be on the thighs. Our first one of the morning. We're not as stretchy as we are once we kind of get warm. So feel free to keep those knees bent. Allow that head to relax. Give yourself some time here. Your hamstrings might be tight. Your calves might be tight. Just let your body relax here in your forward fold. Shaking your head yes and no. We're going to grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose, really allowing our elbows to come down just a little bit more towards the mat. And we'll rock from left to right. This feels really good when you're just trying to relax the body. Lowering those hands down, back to our forward fold, releasing that head towards the knee. On your inhale, we come all the way up, bringing those arms overhead for our extended mountain pose. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. Maybe your hands touch, maybe they don't. That's up to you. On that exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to shin or flat back. Planting your hands down on the mat, we're going to come back to that tabletop position. Again, I want us to make sure that we're moving those hips, right? We're moving those hips. All right. It doesn't come down. All right, push your weight back into that child's pose, but this time keep your knees in. Keep your knees in. We're coming down. I want you to bring your forehead down towards the mat. Bring your hands behind you. So this one is another hip stretch. You can also bring your forehead down onto the block. Don't have to bring that forehead all the way down. You can take it in the high pose, the medium pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Give yourself some time here. Now with the blocks, whenever you're doing things on the blocks, start off in high. If you feel like you can go a little low, start to medium, and then you can take it to low. And once you feel comfortable, you can completely move the block and come down onto the mat. The blocks are very, very versatile. We're going to bring that gaze back towards the front of our mat. Bring our hands down beside our face. Shift your hands forward into table and then come up to your downward facing dog. Push away with your hands. You're getting those heels down towards the ground. Again, you can walk the heels in if you'd like to bring the heels down. Bend in the knee if you need it. Walk the feet toward your hands. We're back in that forward fold. Bringing your hands to shin for a flat back. We're going to really start on those sun salutations. So allow those shoulders to come back. Exhale back to your forward fold. Planting your hands down on the mat. We're going to step back to the tabletop and plank. Whatever one's good for you. We'll flow through if you'd like to flow. If you'd like to flow with me, you can come out of your downward facing dog. Roll forward where those heels are over the ankles. Lower yourself down and push up for your baby cobra upward facing dog, and then push back, and we'll meet everyone in our downward facing dog. So when I say flow, that's the flow that I mean. Bringing that gaze towards your hands, walking your feet towards your hands, back into that forward fold. Every time we get into our forward fold, you may feel a little different, maybe hopefully looser, moving your body from left to right. This isn't a static movement. This is a dynamic movement. You want to move your body. And release the head down. Bring the hands to shin for a flat back. Plant your hands down on the mat. We'll step back and flow. Again, you can stay directly into that downward facing dog, push back, or flow through. I feel like I need to say if that's your business because I've been listening to too much Tabitha Brown. Bring the gaze towards your hands. Walk your feet towards your hands or back into that forward fold. On your inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin for a flat back. If you haven't seen any of Tabitha Brown's videos, she makes vegan food. She's awesome. Plant your hands down on the mat, step back and flow. Of course, you can stay into your downward facing dog because that's your business. Bringing the gaze towards your hands, walking your feet towards your hands. We're back into the forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead, extended mountain. And exhale, forward fold. This is going to be our last sun salutation A before we switch it up. Hands to shin for a flat back. Planting your hands down on the mat, step back and flow. We're going to bring the gaze towards your hands. Come back to your forward fold. Feet at the top of the mat. We're going to take and step the feet out wide as your mat. You're still at the top of your mat. Shifting the weight into one foot at a time. So you're moving your body from left to right. Moving those hips. Remember today, we're kind of working hips. Wasn't something that I originally planned, but I'm going with the flow. Acceptance. Coming back to stillness. Lowering your body into the center. Your hands are down right underneath your head. Feel free if you need to put a bend into the knees. Feel free to do that as well. On that inhale, we're going to bring the arms overhead, coming all the way up to a standing position, gazing up towards the ceiling, slight back bend if that's comfortable. Exhale, we forward fold back into the center. Walking our hands over to our right side. You're going to take that left hand, bring it back behind your back. Bring that shoulder up towards the ceiling. Again, if you need to put a bend into the knees, that's fine. You're just bringing that gaze up towards the ceiling. Really open up that shoulder. Exhale, lower down. Walk the hands over to the left. Taking the right hand, bringing it around to your back, bringing that gaze up towards the ceiling. Again, if you have a block, you see how this really changes your posture, right? Really takes that pressure off of your lower back. You can get up a little further in the posture. Blocks are very handy. Lower yourself back down, come back to center. We're going to twist back towards the right, but this time we're going to take that right foot and turn it out to the side. So if you like to come onto the side of your mat, you can do that. We're coming over to the side of our mat. We're going to twist that foot out, walk our hands around to frame that foot, pivot that back foot where that heel is in, the toes are out, like in our Warrior One pose. We're going to straighten that front leg to your comfort, bend in the knee if you need it, pivot the back foot towards the front of the mat. We're in our pyramid pose. If you have tight hamstrings, like I do, I chronically have tight hamstrings, you can put a bend into that front knee. So this is our pyramid pose. It's really good for your hips, for your hamstrings. Squaring your hips towards the front of the mat. Allow your body to release down. You're releasing that head toward your knee. I want you to take 3 breaths. Maybe your body surrenders a little bit closer to the mat. Again, if you have blocks, feel free. Use your blocks. Bring them up to whatever position's comfortable for you. On that exhale, we're going to come all the way up towards the sky. Straighten your body, standing up, arms overhead. Now we're going to come back down. You have the option to interlace your fingers. If you'd like to really open up that chest, interlace your fingers, allow the shoulder blades to touch, and then lower yourself down. Or you can bring your hands down by your side, whatever one's comfortable. If you're feeling comfortable and you can go no hands, you can do that. Lower your head down towards the mat. Again, if you feel uncomfortable, bringing your hands down onto the mat is also another option. Your gaze is down towards that back foot or the knee, either way. On that inhale, you're coming back up to standing. If you have your hands up, interlace, release the hands, bring the arms back overhead. Bring the feet back to center. Both feet back towards the center. Now we're going to turn towards the left. Pivot that foot out. That back foot, again, will pivot. Lower yourself down towards the front, towards that left side. Those hips are square towards the left side of your mat. Out of your body. Allow that head to release. This feels really good when you're just trying to release that body. Again, you're still welcome to have the blocks. You can always have the blocks down. I want you to take 2 more breaths. On that inhale, coming all the way back up. Arms overhead. Again, on this side, you have the option of bringing those hands down, interlacing your fingers behind you. And on that exhale, hinge forward. Bend in the knee if you need it. Gaze is down towards your foot or your knee. On your inhale, come all the way up. Release the fingers, bring the hands overhead. Pivot that foot in, coming back to center. On that exhale, we hinge forward, back into the center. Notice if our body feels any different. Bend the knees if you need it. And then rock your body from left to right. Another little swag surf here. Come into stillness. We'll heel toe the feet in, back towards our forward fold position. And on that inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. We're going to take our elbows and keep them together over our head, remembering to release your head away from your ears, your head away from your shoulders, not your ears. And just allow those elbows to come back. Release the hands back overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. Just a little far back. Back to that pyramid pose. I want you to feel that pose again. And now step it all the way back. Come down onto that back knee. Untuck the back toe. Shift the weight towards the heel. So we're here in our half split position. You can bring that foot forward, walk the heel down, flex the heel back, heel down, toes back towards your body, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you'd like to use your blocks, this really helps in this position, really gets you kind of high up and allows your body to be open within this position here. You can always take the blocks wherever you need them. Again, if you're a person like me whose hamstrings are always really tight, these half splits help. You can also do these in the bed if you like. It takes the pressure off your knees. If you're having any knee issues, feel free to put a pillow down. We're going to take that foot, point the foot down. We're flexing now that ankle and the top of that foot. Walk that foot back in so the foot is flat on the mat. Lean forward. Step the back foot up and come back to your forward fold. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. So stepping that left foot back. You come back to your pyramid pose. Notice how your body feels after just warming up, how it feels coming back to this position. And now step that foot all the way back and come down onto that back knee. Untuck your back toe. Shift your weight towards your heels. Come into that half split. Again, the toe flexes back towards your body. Slight bend in the knee if you need it. Allow yourself to come forward so that chest is nice and lifted. Either way, if you're on blocks or if you're on the floor. And then when you get comfortable is when you can lean forward. Again, pointing that toe down, feeling that stretch on the top of your foot and the ankle. Bringing that foot back in a little towards the body, leaning forward. We're going to step the back foot to meet the front. We're back into that forward fold. On your inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, we hinge forward. We're going to come down onto our bottom. Come down onto the mat. So however you'd like to get there, shifting your body down, you're welcome to do so. Come down onto your bottom. Stay at the top of your mat. Your feet are in front of you, knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Bring those hands behind you. Your fingertips extend behind your body. Allow that chest to be nice and high. Those shoulder blades may come together. Bringing that chest up nice and high. Your neck is neutral. Just take a second to breathe. And let your knees fall over to your right side, wherever they are. Just let your knees fall. Turn your gaze away from your knees. When you turn away from your knees is where you really get that little ring internal stretch within the body, really being able to detox your organs. Inhale, bring the knees back up, and then allow them to fall over to the left side. Again, wherever they are, turn your gaze away from your knees. Keeping that chest nice and lifted, you're getting length within that collarbone. So typically when we're sitting at home and we're sitting at a desk, we bring the shoulders in, we curve the shoulders in. We want to reverse that, bring it out. Bringing those feet back up, knees back to neutral. You can hug your knees in here. Allow that chin to come down towards the chest. And when you're ready, bringing that head up, tucking your tailbone under, we're going to come back onto our backs. Now, if you'd like to roll down nice and gently, you can, engaging the core. If not, whatever comfortable way to come down onto the mat is okay. Because you know what Tabitha Brown says, that's your business. So, that's your business. Whatever you like to do. Hug your knees into your chest. You're going to rock from left to right. We're going to take that right leg, extend it out, down by our side. Let it come all the way down, hugging that left leg in towards your chest. We're going to take that left foot, bring it up towards the ceiling, flexing that heel down towards our body. So you're going to get that full stretch within the leg. If you have a yoga strap or just your hands, just bring the leg closer to your body. However you want to do that, still keeping the shoulders down. You can hold on to your calf, your calf muscle here. You can also hold on to your the back of your hamstrings or your calf, whichever one. If you have loose pants on, you can hold on by the pants. Whatever you like. Even if you feel extra stretchy and you like to take your two peace fingers and hold on to your big toe, you can also do that as well. Whatever feels good to you. I'm going to release that foot, bend the knee, and swap it out. Hugging that knee in towards the chest. And then straighten the leg, flexing the toes down towards your body. Activating that. Hug it in. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Wherever feels comfortable for you. Again, you're remembering to allow that shoulder to come down. So that's the only thing you're thinking about. So wherever you're holding on to, whatever placement, releasing those shoulders down. Put a bend into the knee. Lower the leg down. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Stretch, flex, and point the toes. Move the ankles in a circle. And then on your exhale, you can hug both knees into the chest. Bring your hands around. Rock your hips, your knees from left to right. Feeling that little massage on the lower back. We're going to plant the feet down onto the mat right in front of us. Toes are tracked forward. We're going to bring that right foot up to a 90-90 position. Just the right foot this time. So that means 90 degrees from the hip to the knee, and then 90 degrees from the knee to the ankle. Allow that back to be flat on the mat. You're keeping your foot here in this 90-90 position, with as little effort as possible. Now, it may not be the perfect 90-90, and that's okay. Whatever's comfortable for you, with that knee right in line with the hip. Lower that right leg down. We're going to do the left leg. Again, in that 90-90 position. That back is flat on the mat. Again, we're trying to get to this posture with as least effort on our lower back as possible. Lower down the left leg. Maybe rock the legs from left to right. I want you to see now if you can take both feet to that 90-90 position. So both feet come up. We're almost in that reverse tabletop position, correct? You can allow the hands to be down by your side, wherever's comfortable. We're going to straighten the right leg, bend it back. Straighten the left, bend it back. Straighten both. Take it back. Very nice. Let's do that one again. That felt good. Straighten both and take it back. All right. We're going to start to do our toe touches here. So we're in our 90-90 position, and we're going to take one leg down and take it back up. So take the heel down and take it back up. Heel taps. Left leg down and take it back up. Engage that core. Move your hips. Right foot down and back up. And left down and back up. We got 4 more on each side. Right leg down for 4 and back up. And left down and up. And 3 on the right. Left side. And 2 on the right and back up. On the left and back up. Last 1 on the right and back up. Last 1 on the left and back up. Hug the knees into the chest. Give it a rock from left to right. Lower down the right leg. Hug in the left. Take that left leg across your body. Let the knee fall down on the other side. Here's where you can have a block. I will reach up and grab my block. You can take the block down onto the side. If you don't want to get that knee all the way towards the ground, you can take a pillow here as well, whatever you like. So you can have the block here on the knee. Turn your gaze away from your knee towards that back hand. Your hands can be out in a T. Feel that stretch, that internal twist of the body. I want you to take 1 full cycle of breath here. Allow your shoulders to relax. Inhale, come back onto your back. Hug that knee into the chest. We're going to swap out. We're going to move the left leg down, hug the right leg in. Again, crossing that knee over the body, letting the knee fall. Again, you can move that block underneath your knee. Your left hand can come on the top of the thigh as long as it's not on your knee. Turn your gaze towards your back hand, your right hand. That left leg is straight. Again, you're allowing your shoulders just to relax. Surrender into the mat. Your neck is relaxed, unclenching your jaw. Focus on your breath. Even if your body doesn't look like how my body looks, everybody's practice is different. Again, practice. Our theme, our intention word is acceptance. Accept your body for where you are in this moment. Maybe yesterday this pose was a little bit easier for the body, and today it may not be the case. We accept our body where we are. Hugging that knee back into your chest, come back onto your back. We're going to bring that left leg in to meet the right. Both knees in the chest. Give it a rock from left to right. Taking those feet down onto the mat. We're going to take our knees out, our feet out as wide as your mat. On that exhale, allow those knees to fall in towards each other. Those pinkies will come off the ground. The big toes will be planted down on the mat. Allowing those knees to fall in towards each other, maybe adjusting if you'd like to take this pose a little bit deeper. It's okay if the knees don't exactly touch. Again, that acceptance, accepting your body where you are. Allow your shoulders to surrender into the mat. Continue to breathe. On your next inhale, bringing those knees back out wide. Bringing the soles of the feet together, butterfly the knees out. Counter stretch to bringing those knees in. We'll take the knees out. If this is uncomfortable at all, you can always take blocks. Place them underneath your legs, wherever you like them to be. They can be underneath of those thighs, keeping your thighs from opening out completely. And as you get comfortable, you can bring the blocks down until you don't need any blocks and your legs will come out. All of this is stages. When we say that a yoga class is for all levels, we mean that you can take the pose in different ways. So even if you need to modify, you can do that with your blocks. We're going to take the hands to the outsides of the thighs, closing the thighs up like a book, giving them a rock from left to right. And when you're ready, hugging those knees into your chest, lowering your feet down on the mat, walking your hands down, and walk your heels in where your fingertips just reach your heels. We're setting up for that bridge pose. On that exhale, root down into your feet, push your hips up towards the sky. Keeping those shoulders down on the mat, you're pushing your hips up higher and higher. On that exhale, release them down. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. That's so sweet. Come back, bring those heels in. We're rooting down into the feet. Again, push your hips up. I'm going to do one more. See if you can root down into the feet, engage your quads, push your hips up a little bit higher. Those glutes are going to engage. That chin is relaxed. We're not putting any pressure in the neck. Rooting down into the feet is how you push the hips up. Lowering down your hips, giving your knees a little rock. We're going to do that one more time. You can take that same posture, or if you'd like to level it up, you can interlace the hands. So bringing your hips up towards the sky, interlacing your hands underneath you if that's comfortable, stacking those shoulders, and then bringing your hips up. Again, this is for people that have already been very comfortable with stacking their shoulders, accepting your body where you are again. And on that exhale, release the hands, lower your back, body back down, hug those knees in. We're going to bring each knee to each shoulder. Give it a wide rock from left to right. Taking those knees together, keeping the knees in, take the hands out to a T. Let the knees fall over to your right side. Our supine twist on our right. Again, letting your shoulders relax. Your toes, your knees relax. Keep your knees stacked on top of each other as much as possible. Take one more full cycle of breath. letting your hips release. No tension on the side body, the belly, nowhere on your body. Engage your core, keeping the knees together as much as possible. Bring them back to the center and then over onto your left side. Turning your gaze away from your knees. Looking back towards that hand. Again, you're letting everything come down, letting your body just get comfortable here. Maybe that hip will release down, keeping those knees stacked. Taking one more full cycle of breath. Inhale, bring the knees back into the chest, giving them a rock from left to right. Take the feet up towards the ceiling. We've done this where we had one foot at a time, now both feet. Flex the toes back down towards your body. We're going to move those ankles, make little circles. And then we're going to start to move our leg down and let it hover. So move that right leg down. Let it hover about 6 inches from the ground. You're engaging that core. Your lower back is on the mat. Bring it back up. Bring the left leg down. Again, let it hover here. You're allowing your body to release. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're just doing a little bit of core work here and bring the leg back up. Take the right leg down again. Again, let it hover. Take 2 full cycles of breath. So you're still breathing even though you're keeping that core engaged. And bring the foot back up. Lower the left down. Again, letting it hover here. You're engaging your core. Your core is doing the work. And then bring it back up. We're going to do one more on each side. All right? Lower it down. Again, wherever you are, engaging your core. Continue to breathe. And take it back up. Last one. Lower down. Again, let it hover. Engaging your core. And then take it back up. Lower both feet down. Let it hover. Hold on. Continue to breathe. And lower it down. Very nice. Bring the arms overhead. Flex and point the toes. Move out the ankles. I want you to take that right leg. Bend the right knee off to the side. We're going to do our tree pose, but this time laying down. So take that foot in towards the inside of the thigh. So this is our tree pose that we would do standing, but we're going to do on our backs. Again, we're doing a lot of hip work today. Open up that hip. Square your hips to where you're nice and comfortable on the mat. So if it's possible, if you can keep both hips down on the mat, this is really going to allow that knee to open up. I want you to breathe. You can take your hands to cactus arms, whatever's comfortable for you. Just remembering that you're releasing tension on your hip and your knee. On that exhale, lower that leg back down. Give it a little shake. And we're going to take the left up. Again, bringing that foot to the inner thigh. Even if you want it on your shin, that's fine as well. You can take the foot down. Whatever's comfortable. Keeping that hip square on the mat. Trying to keep both hips down. Taking 2 more breaths. And release the leg down. We'll shake it out here. Taking the knees in towards the chest, taking the feet up and bending them down, turning them to the right and to the left, just a little rock, keeping the hands back. We're just using our legs for this, flexing them back up, bending them, rocking right and left. Do that one more time. Bring the feet up, flex the toes down, bend the knees, rock right, rock left. Hug the outsides of your feet so you can bring the feet up towards your body. Hug the outsides or hug the shins. Happy baby. So wherever you are, you can hug the shins, you can hug the feet. Whatever you'd like, we're trying to get those knees down towards the mat. Give it a rock from left to right. My tight hamstring people, this is good for this. I told you I have tight hamstrings. All right, bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to close the thighs up like a book and then let the feet fall down on the mat. Bring the arms up overhead. Nice stretch. And then let your hands fall down by your side. We're here in our Shavasana, here in our final pose. Readjust your body to where your body is in contact with the mat as much as possible. We want to begin to release tension in our bodies. We start from the crown of our head, releasing tension in between our eyebrows, unclenching our jaw, letting our tongue relax. Our neck is relaxed into the mat, nice and soft. Shoulders melt into the mat. Our spine is neutral. Hips are surrendered into the mat. Fingertips are light. Knees, ankles, and toes are heavy on the mat. The earth beneath us rises up. We allow our body to surrender. We focus on our breath, the rise and the fall of our chest. We're coming back to that intention. Again, that acceptance. Accepting our bodies, accepting ourselves. Sometimes accepting other people. Accepting the world that we live in our new normal right now. Knowing that some things we cannot accept. And being okay to not accept those things. Remembering there's two sides of acceptance. I want you to turn your attention to the positive side of that coin. What are some things in your life that you can accept for yourself? Maybe going well for you. Some things that you have done, the things you've done right in your life. Maybe you didn't take credit for it. Accept the credit for it. I want you to accept compliments. Even though we can't actually hug, accept virtual hugs. Accept love. I want you to take 2 more breaths of silence as we seal our intention. Gently bringing awareness back into your body and back into this space. We wiggle our fingers and our toes, hugging your knees into your chest one at a time, and rolling over to our right side. Gently cradling your head if you need to. And when you're ready, using that top hand to push you back into a seated position. Any comfortable variation. Remember, we had our feet out. If you like to cross them in, maybe even one leg, that's fine. Bringing your hands to heart center. I want you to thank yourself for committing to you, showing up for you today, committed to your practice. Thank your body for showing up, supporting you in this practice today. I thank you for showing up, allowing me to share my practice with you. I want you to take this energy, this calm, this flow with you off the mat, onto your day, share it with others. I thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the practice. I hope that it was something that was still low, but got you some energy, right? Maybe you feel a little bit better. EA, how you feeling? We did a little bit of movement with the hips, right? So you may want to take a little counter pose before you get off the mat. Just bending it back. This is almost to our camel pose. We didn't do that pose. But a little bit of bending, bringing that hip forward. Remember to move those hips. Move those hips. I thank you so much. Who do we have? Oh, we got more people on. Thank you. I'm glad you got your 30 minutes in, Vanessa. I'm glad 30 minutes in. Remember to like this class. Remember to subscribe. I thank you all so much for joining. Let me know in the comments how you enjoyed the class. If you want something with more blocks, we can do a class where I'm completely on the blocks and I show you to do everything on the blocks. I have a stretch class that's inside of my YouTube videos that talks about stretching with the strap. So if you have a strap, maybe we can do a class with that as well. So I thank you. I thank you so much. We've now been, I think, a whole month of these classes. I think this is now rounding out to make a whole month. And I've learned so much. Thank you, Mommy. I've learned so much about how to do the tech of it all, how to get comfortable here, being able to teach, and just being able to be open, where it's not a rigid class. We're flowing here. We're having fun. So I'm glad that you're here to have fun with me. Being on my journey, I really, really appreciate that. Please continue to share my class. I really thrive off of being able to see everyone in the comments. Yes, I'm glad. Yes. So yoga is helpful for a super stressful week. Yay. So I'm glad this was helpful for you. Please share it with others. I'm glad to see that you're a newbie. Welcome. Please share it with others. And I will see you next week. Next week at 8:30. Feel free to look at some other videos throughout that time until we meet again on next Saturday. So have a good weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And I will see you in the next class. Have a good one. Bye.